Are you a busy mom or dad that just feels like you're doing all the right things, but not seeing the results that you want? If so, this one's for you, my friends. Today, we're going to talk about something that might surprise you, something that goes against everything you've been told about getting in shape. We are diving into why cardio might actually be working against your confidence, and why strength training builds what you already want as a parent who values faith, family, and feeling strong in your own body. If you've been running on that treadmill week after week, wondering why you still feel weak and tired, grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes, because I'm going to give you specific steps that you can take starting today to build real strength, real energy, and real confidence. Welcome to Strength for Generations, the go-to podcast for Christian families who want to build strength, restore energy, and deepen connection with God at the center. I'm Krista Baker, Christian health coach, wife, mom, and co-founder of Baker Family Fitness. I'm here to help you honor God with your health and bring peace back to the process, to simplify what it means to build strength in your body, renew your mind, and care for your spirit, all without losing precious time with your family. So grab your coffee and your ribeye, and let's do this His way. Let me paint a picture for you. It's 5:30 a.m. and you're lacing up your running shoes for the third time this week. You've been doing cardio consistently for months now. Maybe you've lost some weight on the scale, but when you look in the mirror, you still don't like what you see. When you're carrying groceries up the stairs, your arms still shake. And when you're playing with your kids at the park, you get winded faster than they do. When you're trying to move furniture or lift something heavy, you have to ask for help. And deep down, you know something isn't right. You're doing the work, but you don't feel capable. You don't feel confident. You certainly don't feel like the strong role model you want to be for your children. Sound familiar? Here's what I want you to understand today. Cardio isn't building what you actually want. And for many of us, especially as we get older, it might actually be working against us. Let me share something personal with you. When I was younger, I thought cardio was the way. I was on my bike all the time. I love riding my bike. I actually really enjoy it today still. Maybe just because I could get really far with it. But growing into my 20s, I bought into everything that was being marketed to women. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. Cardio, cardio, cardio. And not just ladies, men too. But women were marketed to a little bit differently to get them to come to the gyms. Feel the burn, sweat it out, cardio classes, kickboxing classes. The message was always the same. If you're not dripping sweat, you're not working hard enough. And I'm not against those things. But what I know to be true now is that wasn't helping me become strong. I did use weights when I was younger, but it was more weights with cardio, basically, and never really focused on building strength. I can still remember this one time when Mike and I were at the gym together. This was before we got pregnant with Casey. He handed me these weights to do skull crushers. And honestly, I remember it feeling so heavy for me. I was struggling with it. It was one of the easy curl bars. And when I was done my set, then he just picks them up off me with basically one finger. It was like he just curled it with his index finger. Almost like it was nothing. And that moment stuck with me. We started going to these functional training classes at this athletic gym. And that's where I really started falling in love with getting strong. Not just moving my body, but actually building strength. And I loved how my body felt after those sessions. It wasn't just about being tired or sweaty. It was about feeling capable, feeling powerful, feeling like I could handle whatever life threw at me. And that's when I realized something had to change about how I approached fitness. I was spending hours every week exercising with that cardio-focused mindset, but I wasn't building the kind of strength I needed for real life. Wasn't building the kind of confidence I wanted my children to see. So first, let's talk about what cardio actually does to your body. Cardio is catabolic. That means it breaks down muscle tissue. When you do long cardio sessions, especially if you're not eating enough protein or getting enough rest, your body starts using muscle for fuel. This is the opposite of what most of us want. We want to build muscle and maintain it, not lose it. And if you want to go back a couple of days ago, I put out the podcast about building strength for longevity and how to protect your bones. So this really applies to that. Second, cardio doesn't teach your body to be strong. It teaches your body to be more efficient, your heart and your lungs. But life requires strength in multiple directions. Life requires you to lift things overhead, to pull things towards you, to push things away from you, to stabilize your core while arms and legs are working. Cardio doesn't prepare you for this. Third, and this is important for us as parents, cardio doesn't build the kind of confidence that comes from feeling physically capable. So when you can lift your toddler without straining your back, that builds confidence. And when you can carry all the grocery bags in one trip, that builds confidence. I'm sorry, just as I say this, I have a memory of Mike, my husband. Like anytime we go to someone's pool, all the kids are always all over him because they want him to throw them into the water. And it's like he's got to get them up and out of the water, over his head, and then tossed into the water, right? And so that's a level of strength. And he'll just kind of do it over and over. And all the kids are, my turn, my turn, my turn. But you think about it, when you carry all your grocery bags in one trip, that builds confidence. When you can move furniture or help a neighbor without feeling weak, that builds confidence. Cardio alone doesn't give you this. Now, I'm not saying cardio is evil. It has a place in a well-rounded fitness routine. But if cardio is the only thing that you're doing, and especially if you're doing hours of it every week, you're missing out on what your body actually needs. You're missing out on building the strength that translates to real life. You're missing out on the confidence that comes from feeling truly capable in your body. So what's the solution, my friends? Strength training. But not just any strength training, smart strength training that builds the kind of strength you actually need as a busy parent. So let me give you 3 specific steps that you can start implementing today. Okay? So step 1, we're going to start with body weight movements that mimic real life, especially if you haven't been strength training. Your first step is to begin incorporating movements that actually prepare you for daily life. Okay, we're going to do some squats because you squat every day. Getting on and off of a chair, on and off of the toilet. Okay, you're going to do it forever. So let's just get that pattern down and do it really well. We're going to do some push-ups. So if regular push-ups are too challenging right now, do them against a wall or on your knees. Let's try some planks because your core needs to be stable for everything else to work properly. Your core is the middle of your body, and so we want to make sure our core is nice and strong. And finally, glute bridges, because your glutes power everything from walking up the stairs. Just think like you've got stuff in your hands and you're moving up the stairs. We do steps all the time. It's about starting to teach your body to be strong in the ways that matter. Okay, step 2, focus on progressive overload, not just showing up. Sometimes I see people just do the motion, just do the workout, but they're not actually pushing themselves hard enough. So your second step is understanding that strength comes from gradually challenging your body more over time. And you might hear people say things like, oh, I got a new PR, a new personal record. So they've moved more weight than they did before. But this is called progressive overload, and that's the secret to building real strength. Here's how to apply this practically. Okay, week 1, let's say you do 5 squats before you need rest. Week 2, try for 6 or 7. You don't got to go 5 to 10, just 1 or 2 more. And then week 3, you get 8 to 10. Or maybe you hold your plank for 15 seconds the first week, and then 20 seconds the next week, and then 25 seconds after that. The key is gradual progression. Your body adapts to whatever you ask it to do. So if you ask it to do the same thing every week, it stops getting stronger. It just will stay. It just kind of hangs out in this maintenance mode. So if you gradually ask it to do a little more, it rises to meet that challenge. This is completely different from cardio, where you often doing the same intensity for the same duration week after week. You know, I see a lot of people, they'll go for a run. They go out their driveway, go left, go around the block. They have this path. They have this one 5K run that they do every time. So there's no real challenge with that. Sure, running for a 5K is challenging, but it's the same thing repeated over and over. And so your body will adapt. With strength training, you're constantly building on what you did before. Okay, step 3, we're going to create a simple weekly structure that actually fits your life, guys. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. Your third step is creating that realistic plan that you can stick to long term. Because what you consistently do over time, it actually matters more than the intensity. You need to find 15 minutes in your day to move your body. That's 90 minutes total throughout the week. And you can divide it however you want. Let's say 2 sessions of 45 minutes each, or 3 sessions of 30 minutes each, 6 sessions of 15 minutes. Whatever that is we need to make sure that this structure is fitting into your life. So you're practicing all these movements, and now we're starting to structure it into your calendar. So let's say I personally recommend, I've talked to you guys about this before, I like starting my clients off, especially if they haven't been doing this for a long time. And I'll be honest with you, even some of my clients that had been doing this for a long time, they come to me and they're just like a bag of stress. So I do like to put them at 6 sessions of 15 minutes. Because what happens when we do that is some of them will just hit the 15 minutes and they see progress. But sometimes they're like, oh, I was there, so I just did more mobility, or I added a couple extra sets, and they do it for a little bit longer. And now they're starting to really add more volume into their schedule. But if I know if they do 15 minutes every day, it's going to make them feel really good. And it's doable for them. We want to have, let's say, 3 movements each session. Let's say we have 1 upper body movement, 1 lower body, and 1 core in each workout. And we're going to pick from your primal movement patterns. So those are the things that you do naturally: squatting, bending, pushing, pulling. All of these movements you do every single day. So here's how this could work. Let's say Monday, you do push-ups, squats, and planks. Tuesday, row, glute bridge, and a dead bug. Wednesday, wall sit, push-ups from your knees, and side planks. Thursday, reverse lunges, rows, and bird dogs. Friday, maybe we do some incline push-ups, single leg glute bridges, and a modified plank. And Saturday, we do a body weight squat, wall push-ups, and marching planks. Do you see what I mean? We're just adding a little bit of volume to every single day. And now I'm not talking to the person who's been training for a very long time, who has like aesthetic goals, and we're trying to, they're at a place where they want to work out 6 1-hour sessions a week. We're not there. What we're doing is we're trying to help people get to a place where, hey, I'm actually doing this, and then I really like it, and then I can add more. The key is we want to hit these primal movement patterns because you do it all the time. Your body knows how to squat. Your body understands all of these different movement patterns, and it makes your life easier. Okay? So you could start with body weight versions of these things, but you can also get stronger by adding some resistance bands or dumbbells or whatever equipment you have. During the pandemic, we used laundry jugs. We used, oh my goodness, what else did we use? We used stuff like in the cupboards, like pantry items. I had a lot of clients that, because they didn't have access to buying equipment, and so we would put stuff in backpacks and use that as a resistance. But you can build significant strength, even just using your body weight for a little while, and then we start to apply the progressive overload consistently. Okay, my friends? Now, let's address the thing that we have talked about multiple times. Krista, I don't want to get bulky if I strength train. Ladies, it's not going to happen. Men, if you want to bulk up, we got to address your food. And oftentimes it is a goal for guys, but we train men differently than we do with women. But every single one of us can follow the same workout program unless we're in a physique type of program. All of us move the same way all the time. We all squat, we all bend, we all push, we all pull, we all twist and lunge. And so we work on getting all those really, really dialed in. And I just want to always address the women that are afraid to pick up weights, that they're afraid they're going to get bulky. It requires very specific training, very specific nutrition, and often years of dedicated work. What you're going to get from this style of training, first of all, is the fact that you're going to do it. But we also start to become leaner, more capable, and more confident. You're going to get muscles that are strong enough to handle your daily life with ease. I personally enjoy being able to carry things in my home without having to wait for Mike to come home to get it done. I like being able to, we're going on vacation and we have the luggage and we've made sure we have at least 50 pounds of stuff in there because that's the limit. So you fill it up to 50 pounds, and I could carry that down the stairs with ease. I don't want to not be able to do those things. I want you guys to feel confident and capable in all things. And then we can stack on and start building, your strength in other ways. I have witnessed people progress very quickly. Where I see them stall out is by not progressing their workouts. And that means not pushing them and making things a little bit different down the road. But I want to get you guys just started. So I know you're going to start seeing yourself differently. You're going to feel proud of yourself, not just by how your body looks, but how you feel capable, okay? You're going to start approaching challenges in a way that you never thought you could. And I want you to remember, it's not just about the physical changes. Those things are amazing. But the mental and emotional transformation that happens when you feel truly strong, that's so powerful. So stop thinking about exercise as something you have to do to burn calories or lose weight. I want you to start thinking about it as something you get to do to build strength and confidence. Try these bodyweight movements first and then start adding a little bit more. And I want you to think about just, that daily activity that's really necessary in order for us to feel strong. I know your walks are really important. Please continue walking. I think it's one of the most underrated things that we can do. It's easy, and it's also the best place to hang out with the Lord, because I find when I go on walks and I've got nothing else in my mind, I can just really enjoy the beauty around me, and I can not think about so many other things and just be intentional about that time with Him. And so if that's all we ever start doing, guys, you're going to be in a better place. The cardio, we're going to have to minimize it if you're not doing the strength training. You're going to replace some of the time you spend doing the cardio, building strength, and then you can hit whatever form of cardio that you're doing. This, to me, my friends, is what Strength for Generations is all about. We want to build strength that carries us into the next generation. We want to feel confident. We want to feel strong, and we want to train well. And I think all of these things really matter. And all you got to do is just really start small. But please start today. Okay, before we close, I want to pray over you as you begin this journey towards strength. Heavenly Father, I thank you for each person listening today. I thank you that you have given us bodies to steward and care for. Lord, I pray that you would give them the courage to start where they are, to take that first step towards building real strength, to help them see their bodies as gifts from you, gifts that deserve to be cared for and strengthened. Give them consistency when motivation fades. Give them grace when they stumble, and help them to remember that this journey isn't just about them. It's about the example they're setting for their children, their nieces, their nephews, their friends, their neighbors, everyone that they're surrounded by. It's about the legacy of strength that they can build for generations to come. May they find joy in movement. May they discover confidence in their capabilities, and may they honor you with how they care for the body you've given them. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Thanks for listening, my friends. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Strength for Generations. If this podcast encouraged you, it would be a blessing if you took a quick minute to leave a 5-star review. It helps more families hear this message and find hope for their health and faith journey. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. And if you feel led to share this episode, text it to a friend, post it to your stories, or send it to someone on your heart. God might use it to encourage someone who really needs it today. And don't forget to eat steaks, lift weights, love Jesus, and keep doing it His way.